James Robinson's Maiden Speech. My story is one of the most unique in history. I started practicing yoga in 1971 at the age of 27. Almost immediately, I opened the third eye after concerted breathing and physical exercises and some attention to what I ate. Now, I had been surrounded for years by an environment of those dealing in Kabbala, tarot, the occult, and the use of spiritual healing through mental and hand manipulation of spiritual energies. Reincarnation and the discussion about people like Edgar Cayce was commonplace. When I was about 20, I had read the King James Version of the Bible twice. I had also read the Holy Koran, and I had studied philosophy, world history, and African history. I was a student of mathematics, computer science, astronomy, religion, music, sports, the arts, etc. I was well-rounded and educated, I thought. On July 20th, 1980, I obtained unity in yoga, and there were corresponding events on Earth in Chicago that validated that unity. I thought of the unity as evidence of Christ consciousness. Actually, the Christ consciousness and unity go together. Theoretically, you could have that consciousness without unity, but you could not obtain unity without having Christ consciousness. I am the reincarnation of Jacob, aka Israel, and Caliph Umar, and Thomas Jefferson. Prophet Muhammad is the reincarnation of Moses. Barack Obama is the reincarnation of Abraham Lincoln. The USA is a mirror of ancient Israel. I have about 18 books on Lulu.com, including an autobiography that detail and explain my assertions. My recent books are on Kindle. Most of my books are on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, etc. I write under the name Yusuf Khalim. Visions and dreams about the above reincarnation information occurred on August 4th, 1999, August 5th, 1999, February 23rd, 2002, January 17th, 2016, May 2nd, 2000, and in the summer of 2008. I have incarnated in and among just about all of the major and minor nation groups, races, and peoples. This slide is a graphic of the mirror. Is the mirror that shows that the USA is essentially a mirror of ancient Israel. For example, Abraham is opposite George Washington. Isaac is opposite John Adams. Jacob is opposite Thomas Jefferson. And note that Thomas Jefferson is the reincarnation of Jacob. So it goes on and on like that. One other thing I'm going to point out here is during the time of King number 16, Robam, he's opposite Abraham Lincoln. The former Israeli nation broke into two parts, Israel and Judah. And this is opposite Abraham Lincoln. And in the United States, there was an attempt to break the United States off into two parts, the South and the north. This is my message to you. This is my message to you. The second coming began in 1998. It is a new age, a new era that has currently substantially ended the Eighth World Empire, consisting of the USA, UK, NATO, European Union, Canada, and Australia. Daniel 2:32 through 45. Scripture says that the Creator will end the Eighth World Empire and subsequently establish God's kingdom on earth. Also note, without acknowledging reincarnation, all of your assertions, history, past, and future are irrational and invalid. Humans have a soul, a mind, body, unique personality, and a level of free will. Essentially, everything but the body is incarnated over and over. Matthew 16:14, 17, 11 through 13, 22, 31 through 32. Surah Ayat 39:42, 2:28, etc. Failure to include reincarnation in your thinking, actions, histories, science, everything invalidates them, and it renders you clueless in your understanding of how life really works. I am here this time to announce and witness the second coming, help implement Jubilee, and proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord. Leviticus 25:8 through 13, Isaiah 61, 1 through 3. Also, please read and study the books of Daniel and Revelation, and become familiar with Bible prophecy. You may be amazed at how accurately the seventh and eighth and last world empire is described and its destruction predicted. Also note, current leaders, rulers, elites, anchors, and pundits are illiterate and ignorant of the Bible, Koran, and reincarnation, and therefore often utterly counterproductive leaders and spokesmen. The second coming is a time of reckoning, harvesting of souls, the judgment. These are indeed the end times. We are in a new age. Much of what exists has to be undone or corrected because it was based on lies, ignorance, and injustice. The state of Israel is such a case. It is a con job, a scam, a fraud, and wet dream of the devil. There is no legitimate basis for the existence of the state of Israel. Daniel 9:24 through 27. Slavery, colonialism, and the existence of the state of Israel are examples where lies, ignorance, greed, guns, and fraud were used to overpower and dominate pre-existing societies. This is a graphic that shows the empires starting with Babylonia, Persia, Greece, Rome, and then the seventh and eighth empire. What must be done? Usury must end. Regime changes of other nations by remnants of the Eighth World Empire must stop. Lying, cheating, and stealing must end. Voter suppression by racist, satanic institutions must stop. Neocolonialism must end. Discrimination, racism, and injustice must end. We must truly treat others like we want to be treated. We must implement Jubilee worldwide, and we must help establish God's kingdom on earth. Daniel 2:32 through 45. The last slide is of Stonehenge. Quite attractive, isn't it?